Dear Diary, with the holidays approaching, it may feel like the universe is telling you to go, go, go. But this is the complete opposite of what I'm working towards. I want to prioritize more calm moments, more peace of mind and body, less anxiety, less perfection, less stress. So this holiday season, I'm prioritizing self-care and slowing down. Self-care is crucial for our overall health and well-being. It can prevent illness and disease, increase our productivity and performance, and improve our mental health, among other things. In this video, I'm going to show you things that I'm doing for self-care. I'm going to share my tips for slowing down, and hopefully you can translate these tips and tricks into your own life and have a much more calm holiday season. Hi friends, it's Gwen. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to take you along throughout this weekend to do a reading vlog of when the day comes, and also just really focus on slowing down and self-care. And I'm hoping to share some tips and tricks about slowing down and self-care, especially during this very busy holiday season. The last 2 months of the year are upon us, and they go by so fast. And sometimes going into the new year, I can be so stressed because I feel like I'm coming out of like a fight for my life, because I just have so many things going on in November and December, with friends and family, professionally, work-wise, just everything. You're spending so much money, you're going so many different places, you're around probably more people than you normally are, you're seeing extended family, you're getting together with friends, you're traveling, you're cleaning, you're cooking, you're shopping. There's just a lot going on in these last couple of months. And because I have been intentionally slowing down since the end of August and just taking things a day at a time rather than planning so far in advance, I have really noticed a reduce in like my stress and anxiety. And I think that if I can impart any wisdom that I have gained from what I've been doing to one of you, and I could reduce your stress and anxiety during this time of the year, mission accomplished. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so just come along with me over the next few days as I try to share my weekend, a much slower, calm, purposeful weekend. And I mean, you never know. I mean, it could go haywire. I mean, life does life. I get that, but I'm gonna do my best to manage my stress and stay in the moment and protect myself and my self-care and my mental health as I have a nice, relaxing weekend. That's the hope. Because I am talking before this actually happens, so who knows. I also asked some of my friends to share what they did for self-care. You have to find what works for you, and what works one day might not be so calming the next. So listen to your heart and do things that bring you joy. Take your moment and do something for you. I am currently reading When the Day Comes by Gabrielle Meyer, and this is the first book in the Timeless series. I'm reading this for my church book club. However, I am the one that suggested this book, and I suggested this book because so many of my friends have read and loved this book. Melissa, Keisha, Wendy, just to name a few. And I have already talked to some of the women in my book club, and they either have already finished it and have really enjoyed it, or they're currently reading it and really enjoying it. I am also really enjoying it. So I'm coming to you having already started the book. I am currently on chapter 20, page 249. And you guys, this book is so good. It is a historical fiction book about a woman that has two lives, and she's living the lives at the same time. Both lives. One day she's in one time period, the next day she's in another time period. So her first life is in 1774, Williamsburg, Virginia, and she has, you know, her mom and her two sisters, and they work at this like printing shop that used to be their dad's, but their dad has passed, so she kind of works there now. There's a little bit of romance going on. There's also, you know, the Boston Tea Party and war, and all of that is like on the brink, you know what I'm saying? But how cool is it that like George Washington, Thomas Jefferson are walking around Williamsburg in this time period? And the second time period that Libby is living in is 1914, Gilded Age, New York City. I think it's New York City. Yes, New York City. And she actually goes over to London for a little bit, and then she goes back to New York, and then things happen from there. I don't want to give too much away, but two vastly different time periods. There's things happening in each timeline, but the thing about it is that Libby is not destined to live her life like this forever. She is a time crosser, meaning she lives in two different time periods. And it actually explains it quite well in the book several times. So if it sounds a little wacky and crazy, yes, it is a little bit magical realism, but it really works the way the author intended. But she's not supposed to do this forever. When she turns 21, which is about 13 months at the start of the novel, obviously I've progressed since then, but in 13 months, she'll be 21. And when you're 21, you get to choose which time period you stay in. So obviously Libby is leaning one way over another way, but at the same time, there's things happening in those 13 months in both time periods that may change her mind. Libby's mother is a time crosser. I think her grandmother was a time crosser. And so you can't really, you're not supposed to like look up the history because it can change, you know, things, and then that could have like dire consequences and stuff. But I love the writing, the intrigue of what's gonna ultimately happen, the historical bits, the romance, the mystery, all mixed together. It's every other chapter is a different time period, and I'm absolutely loving the writing, the setting, and just getting to know more about these time periods. And the 7th book in this series was just announced for May of 2026. So I already know I'm going to be continuing on in the series. I'm really enjoying this one. I will keep you updated with my thoughts and my rating after I finish it. But yeah, let's go ahead and slow down and practice a little bit of self-care this weekend. Slowing down can be as simple as not multitasking. Brush your teeth without listening to a podcast or scrolling on TikTok. Eat your meals without the TV on. Keep your phone in another room. Have conversations with the people you're sitting with, family, coworkers, friends, whatever the case may be. Spend an hour in the morning without your phone. Like, don't even have it in the same room with you. And drink your coffee, get ready for the day, listen to music, pray, read, pick out an outfit that you feel amazing in. Now, I hear you. The people with kids, I can hear you laughing, and I get it. I can only imagine how silly that sounds, but you have to use these examples and do what fits for your life. Find the thing that is going to work for you. Take your son or daughter for a walk, read them a book, do a small craft, make them a special breakfast, or a fort to play in while you get some me time. This will not work every morning, but when it can, take advantage of it. I have a bunch of junk to go through for my junk journal. Yesterday, I finally did my sticker dump for November, and now I just want to kind of go through all of my trash and start getting it in the journal so this doesn't pile up too much. It's from several different days, and I like to keep things separated so I can remember better. That's the whole point of a junk journal for me. So yeah, I'm gonna dive into my junk. I'm gonna do a little bit of junk journaling, and this is a very like calming, creative thing that I started doing this year that has brought me a lot of joy. This is my third junk journal, and I share them over on my Patreon, my monthly flip throughs. I also have an Instagram, junkjournal.girly, and you can follow me there as well.
Tonight, but you don't seem to forget about yourself. Wondering how it could go so wrong, but you didn't call for help. But let me tell you about the trees and the seas, how it's all connected. The flowers and the birds and bees, the northern lights, yeah, we're all affected. Watching, pray, pray, pray. I'm breathing in. I'm breathing out. So here's a reminder to look at life that's pouring into you. And so my friend, let me tell you once again, and you know that it's true. Forget about seeing it or hearing it, in the end you must feel. Forget about all you know, you need to go, it's okay to let go. Just let it go, go, go. Then you're breathing in. You're breathing out. We're breathing in.
I went to the Slover Library's Recycled Reads used bookstore. I found some books that I looked up, but they were all part of a series. So I passed on all of those. I didn't get anything. But then I went to Aldi. I got some groceries. I got a tea advent calendar. I got a chocolate advent calendar. I got some apple cider, dishwashing soap, Capri Suns. I got 4 of these house festive tins. They all have gummies in there, Christmas tree gummies, but I thought they were really cute and I could give them away as like little gifts to like people at my church or whatever. So there's a couple different ones, a Santa's Workshop, a White House, another White House, and a toy store. So got those. I think the tin is really cute. Some cookie buttercream Werther's original chewy caramels, peppers for tonight's dinner, beef smoked sausage for tonight's dinner, onions, and pierogies. That's all for tonight's dinner. Then some other things that I got: spicy Cajun pasta, bacon, 2 spaghetti with meatball meals, 2 lasagna style pasta pockets, pork burnt ends, and some cookies. That's what I got at Aldi.
I wonder where you go when we're in the same space. You're more like a ghost in between a place and a feeling. The sun kissed your face, you turned the other cheek, until the clouds filled our sky. Am I the reason why you're always so quiet? You're always so quiet. The air's filling up the room, we can't move it around. Is there nothing I can do to hear you make a sound? Won't you tell me now?
We have come to the end of the video, my friends, but before I go, I have a few things that I want to share with you. I will be finally reviewing when the day comes, but I also wanted to share some resources and some tips and tricks that may or may not help you, some things to think about as you are possibly trying to de-stress, slow down, simplify your life. So first, 2 resources. The first is the Campfire is Calling, 90 warming devotions for the simple life. This is what gave me that mind shift. Now, this is a Christian devotional. It's broken up, like I said, into 90 different devotions, and every day is like a double spread. So you have the devotion, and then you have a little prayer at the end. Every single day is like that. And it was so easy to incorporate into my daily routine and my devotion time and my quiet time. And then some pages have like a quote. So I would also just read that. And then I would also read, the devotion as well. There were a few that specifically spoke to me. The one on page 166 that says, stress relief in the simple things. The simple things are the best stress relievers. Things like taking a walk, watering the garden, watching the birds at the feeder, listening to a favorite playlist, the first sip of coffee in the morning, laughing with our kids, a drive through the countryside, and sitting around a campfire. And it does go on and on for, other things. The pace of the world has complicated our lives and stolen our time with screens, apps, and binge watching. Just think back 20 years. It's shocking to realize where we are today in relation to the way we communicate and the things that monopolize our free time. And that's so true. So just as I was going through this, it really kind of recentered me and grounded me, not only in God's word and what God wants for me in my life, but also just
takeaways like that. So I highly recommend this one. It is from Dayspring. Their website is dayspring.com, and they have The Beach is Calling, The Campfire is Calling, and The Mountains is Calling. I've read The Beach is Calling. I've read this one now, and I also have The Mountains are Calling on my TBR, and I'm going to be starting that because I just finished this one. My next resource I talked about a little bit in my nonfiction reading vlog that I posted last week. It is The Let Them Theory by Mel Robbins. This one I think specifically helps you prioritize yourself rather than stressing out and trying to keep everybody else in check. Some of the topics in here include like managing your stress, fearing other people's opinions, dealing with someone else's emotional reactions, overcoming chronic comparison, mastering adult friendship, motivating other people to change or not. I added that part. Helping someone who is struggling, choosing the love you deserve. All of these things, and you could just read the section that applies to you. I also do recommend the audiobook because Mel Robbins narrates it and it's much more conversational, whereas this is like a book. It's written like a nonfiction, you know what I'm saying? But both are really good. Highly recommend. So if you're looking for resources outside of what I'm talking about, this is kind of where I would start. And then a couple of other things, like you have to think about what's causing you to hurry. Like, why do you always feel that rush, that go, 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 go mentality? What's causing you to stress? Is it too many obligations? Is it a specific person? Is it work? What is it? So you have to be able to self-identify these things in your life and think of ways to actively combat those things. Because what works for me or my neighbor is not going to work for you. So those are the areas that you need to focus on. And I feel like as you feel less hurried, less stressed, you will have time to start simplifying your life and appreciating the simple things in life. So if you're always like in a hurry in the morning, would it help you to wake up 30 minutes earlier, give yourself a little bit of time? Or is it better to go to bed a little bit earlier so you can wake up earlier? Like, think about adjusting your sleep schedule. That's something, since the time change, I have worked really, really hard at, and it's actually been pretty good. Last night I struggled a little bit, but I know why I struggled and I took care of it and then I went right to bed. But yeah, so try to fix your sleep schedule. If you need a suggestion for that, The Sleep Solution by Chris Winter. I have recommended that book a ton, but it's called The Sleep Solution. I'll pop in a picture for you. If you need help on how to fix your sleep, this guy knows his stuff. It's also a hilarious nonfiction, so highly recommend. Okay, also, I honestly feel like if you can get outside in the sunshine for just a little bit of time every single day, then it will change your life. I know in winter it's cold outside and the wind is blowing. There's probably snow on the ground. Nobody wants that. But if the sun is out, you need to go outside for 10 minutes minimum. Even if you're just reading by a window inside, if you could take your dog for a walk, take your child for a walk. I mean, obviously be safe and stay warm and all of that good stuff. But sunshine, that vitamin D, it changes things. Also, drinking enough water and getting enough sleep, imperative. And then also just try to lean on your support system. I have found for myself and my friends and my family that we have taken a step back from feeling okay asking for help. And I think we need to get back to that. I think we are living in a generation and in a time that we're actually more lonely than ever, even though we have all of this social media. But we need to ask for help. Reach out to your best friend and tell her that you're struggling and that you need help, that you're stressed out and you don't know what to do, and say, what can we do that will help us both today? Whether that's the phone call, the text message, you guys go get your pedicures together, you go grab a coffee together, you know, I really hope that these tips help, and I hope you can enjoy the holiday season without it feeling stressful. Buy less gifts. Who cares if your house isn't perfect? Who cares if you don't have the perfect outfit? Who cares if you wear the same outfit that you wore last Thanksgiving or last Christmas? Who cares? You are a kind, beautiful person that deserves to be loved for exactly where you are and who you are in this exact moment. So don't feel like all of this outside noise has to affect your relationships, your friendships, and having a good time, because that's crap, okay? Okay, last thing I want to do is review When the Day Comes by Gabrielle Meyer. 5 stars. If you like historical fiction, if you like a little bit of mystery, if you like a little bit of romance, I would highly recommend this. 1774 Colonial Williamsburg, 1914 Gilded Age New York City. There's family, there's drama, there's intrigue. The writing is beautiful. It's not, I have a fear every single time I pick up historical fiction. I think it's gonna be like written like the time period, like a classic. No, this was written in modern day. So, yeah, but the author has worked for state and local historical societies and loves writing fiction inspired by real people, places, and events. And I could just tell that she's like passionate about history, because it was about history, but it was also about our main character and living 2 different lives. And which life is she gonna live in? Which life is better for her in the moment when she has to choose? How do you choose? Pro-con list? Like, you know, because there's good things in one life, and then there's, you know, good things in another life, and then there's bad things in this one, and bad. It's just, it's craziness. And I think that some people were kind of like a little bit shocked by the ending, and I don't think I was. I was very prepared. I was annotating it for my book club discussion. And yeah, so I wasn't shocked by anything, but that didn't really take away from my enjoyment. I cannot wait to read book number 2. It's on my wish list. I'm hoping to get it for Christmas maybe, but yeah, I really just want to continue in this series and experience every single one. Now, I will say, if like these time periods and like the jobs that she's doing in these time periods, because like in 1774 Colonial Williamsburg, she's like a print maker. She works in like this print shop that used to be her dad's, and she works there with like her mother, and like they have some other people that work for them, and then she has like 2 younger sisters and stuff. So if you don't like the time periods and you don't like her job, you may not connect to this specific one, but I promise you throughout the season, throughout the series, there's gonna be a time period, a motivation, a career, something that's gonna pull you in, and you're really gonna like it. So yeah, so definitely check out this series if you haven't already. And if you have started or want to start, let me know what book number you're on down in the comment section down below. That's all for this video. Thank you so much for taking time to slow down and do a little bit of self-care throughout this vlog. I know a lot of it was kind of like behind the scenes and stuff like that, so hopefully you were paying attention. Yeah, and if you weren't, you can always go back and rewatch it. But let's see, leave the orange heart emoji down in the comment section down below if you made it this far in the video. And as always, I hope you guys are having a lovely day or night, and I'll see you again in another video very soon. Bye, friends.